I will die on that hill.
I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
You have failed this
Right, so I get to say it. Right on.
Sickest night ever.
Is this?
What are we doing?
No. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, a 3-time podcast host. And alongside me, as always, Juan McLean for 3, and our guest for part 1 of this 5-part genre series. We've got Jake the Snake Plissken back for the can't count on one hand or both hands probably. I don't know how many times you've been on now.
I think he's taken over as number one guest.
Emperor's
Taking over.
upset. He's upset.
Emperor, what do you got?
He'll be on the
Well,
genre series too, so he'll be here soon.
Guess that's true.
Yes. How's it going, guys?
Snake, what's up?
Oh, nothing much, man. Nothing much. I mean, we're recording this a little bit after the holiday season here, so just good time with family. Good time just getting together and catching up on everybody, and exchanging some gifts. Seeing some people, especially extended family, you might not normally see throughout the months here, but no, it's been great. We did some traveling. We still got some traveling coming up, so we're looking forward to that. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of holiday season, this kind of time between break as far as school. So having Aurora and Xander out of school and here, so it's kind of a different time that a lot of families out there are experiencing right now for us. So no, I think it's been pretty good. I'm excited. Thank you for having me back tonight again. Just if you just want to save a seat for me, save a spot, I'm always here for you guys. I'll be down to talk about just about whatever. In fact, I think I enjoy some of our pre-production conversations just as much as I enjoy our on-air conversations that we have. So again, very appreciative to be on the air with you guys here, bringing the listeners the information that we want to share, and hoping that we can have some challenging conversations, because I know in the pre-production meeting we already had some conflict. So looking forward to tonight. Looking forward to the listeners. You are in for a treat. What's going on with you, Colton?
Oh god.
More conflict.
Gunner's just gonna bounce one of these times. Jake and I are going at it.
We've talked about it.
I just sit back and smile.
The takeover. Call Guys takeover episode.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it needs to happen. Colton can record it. He has my Zoom login. He can record.
Yeah, I do kind of want to figure out some of that stuff. But anywho, yeah, no, man, it's going. Like you said, just hanging out with family. Yeah, that's about it, really. Kids getting ready to turn 3, so that's pretty fun. Baby's getting ready to turn 3 months. That's even more fun. So, yeah. Just exciting times. Had a good time with family. Got some good gifts. Working on my Christmas houses. I've got Clark Griswold's house. I've got Russ plugging in lights. I've got the family truckster hauling the family Christmas tree as a gift this year, and I got cousin Eddie
The RV.
in the RV. Jake, you had a confused face.
Is this like a little village that you're building?
Oh yeah,
It's like a little village collection that you're going with?
yeah. And let me tell you
Okay.
this: they got more coming, and they look hilarious.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to seeing more updates on that.
Yeah. Department 56 houses. They've got a Christmas vacation theme, and they've got a bunch of really cool stuff there. So I'm looking forward. I know what I want for Christmas and my birthday next year, so I'm excited.
It just feels good to have stuff like that up. That it lights up the top of your cabinets or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But you sent video of yours, and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What about you, Gunner?
I'm gonna just repeat everything you guys said. Spent a lot of good time with family. Traveled a little bit in Michigan for a weekend. Did with Sarah's dad, so that was fun. And then we did Christmas here, and that was hectic and crazy, but fun. And then yeah, this week I had a couple days off. Redid a room in the house, got it done, and went back to work today before we recorded this, and now we're on to a 3-day weekend. You'll be hearing this episode on New Year's Day. And I'll be having a Christmas with Sarah's mom and her sisters. So
Oh my.
we'll end out the holiday season. Finally. I'm ready for it to be over at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here, Jake. And I gotta ask you the one question. And I'm sure I've asked you every time you've been on.
Sure.
Are you watching anything new? What are you watching?
If I watched anything new. Okay, so last time I was on, we were in Ted Lasso. Um, we finished Survivor. That was season 45 that was going on. So we finished that. I jumped back into Survivor. I went season, what is that, 17 or 19, Samoa. It's the first one with Russell as a villain. Phenomenal gameplay. He doesn't end up winning, but I really enjoyed watching him play the game. But actually watching, I think, is another series on Apple TV. It's For All Mankind. It's about the space race, and if the Soviet Union had beaten the Americans in the space race to first put a man on the moon, and then it just continues the Cold War. So instead of the Soviet Union making different blunders, it kind of talks about how they continue to strengthen themselves, and then they're putting a colony on the moon, and then eventually we'll get into the space race to Mars, kind of a deal. But I'm on season 2 right now of that on Apple TV, and that's what I'm in right now. It's pretty good.
Sounds interesting.
Definitely sounds like a Jake show.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I think it's great. It kind of portrays America as a as like second, right? Every like TV show, most TV shows, I'll say, a vast majority that are centered around, even if it's like an alternate future, America still is a superpower and the number one country in the world because we are. So that's the way we're going to write it because we
Got
are
the
number
thing
one.
right.
Okay. And we've been number one. Okay. For what, 80 years going? I mean, since the last time we were challenged. So we are number one. And so it's a bit refreshing, I'll say, maybe to see a different perspective where now, the Soviets have more advanced technology than us, and we're worried about catching up to them and doing things that they've already done. So it's a little different, but I certainly enjoyed it. It's just a me. Chrissy's not watching that one. That's just me
It's
show.
just a you show.
I believe that. I believe that.
Why? Why?
I
You
don't
know?
see that being a Chrissy show whatsoever.
I mean, it's got drama. It's nothing more than drama. It's a soap
Yeah, it's a
opera.
lot of history.
It's not a history. It's an alternate timeline. So it's not history. It's not
Exactly.
based on anything.
Exactly.
Like, listen, The Walking
Loki
Dead
season
was
2.
a soap opera with zombies. This is a soap opera in space. That's all the difference is.
Soap opera in space. Obviously, brother, you haven't watched anything BBC related or Doctor Who related because let me tell you, they don't hold back on some Americans in those shows.
I will say that I believe that a vast majority of Americans consume media that is written by Americans from an American's perspective. So
Correct.
yes, I don't really delve into BBC much on my playlist.
That's okay.
Thank you, Gunner. Thank you. Not that I needed that affirmation, but I appreciate it.
I mean, I can't tell you last
Yeah,
time I
Gunner,
watched a BBC show.
Gunner, we need to talk. I don't want you talking like that to Jake.
This is set up well, Colton. This is great. We've talked about we're gonna have some little conflict. Gunner's already playing Peacemaker, and it's going well.
John Cena.
John Cena.
What Cole? What are you watching?
Not watch it.
You're not watching anything.
I did get to watch. I did get caught up and watch a bunch of Christmas movies on Christmas. So Um, pretty stoked about that. Finally got my Christmas movie fix in. So
I watched
knocked out.
16
You watched 16?
and through December. Yeah.
I think I watched 5 and they were all on Christmas.
That's worse than what I did technically. If you really think about it, I watched like one every couple days or two every couple days. Yeah,
So it was a good time.
nice.
Good time. So that's about all I've really watched here lately. So
That's okay. That's all right. I mean, that's
what about you, Gunner? You
we're a
got
movie
anything new coming up?
podcast. You didn't watch it? No. So I've been catching up on the YouTube um channel that I've been watching for a while, and it's actually the basis for the idea for episode 100. It's a College Humor Dropout. It's
Oh,
their game show called Game Changers. So I've been catching up. I've watched most of it, and I went back through and watched some extra things that I haven't watched in a while. So just getting refreshed, trying to get my mojo to host that and have fun with that. So that's coming up here in 7 episodes. We're actually recording that here in a couple weeks, so should be exciting. Um, So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been watching. We haven't actually had the TV on. We've been working on that room, so it's been like TV's off, um, and just hanging out, working
nice.
hard.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
Sarah and I started a puzzle tonight though, so that was
What kind of puzzle?
so back when we first moved into the house, she had a puzzle, it was a Disney puzzle she wanted to do, and she decided she wanted to do it on the kitchen table, and I said, "You can't do it on the kitchen table. We're gonna have people over." So she did it on the kitchen table anyways. So we were gonna have people over that evening. I just took it, slid it back in the box. So finally, she got a puzzle table and the green table, so she can do her puzzles. And so she was super excited. So she was down here for like an hour and a half earlier, just going crazy.
Nice.
Yeah. So good stuff. Good stuff. Who's got the question of the pod? And I know it's not me. I know it's not Jake. So Colton, what's the question of the pod?
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What is one thing you are looking forward to most this new year?
Oh, holiday based question. Um, I mean that's kind of easy for me. It's just watching Sophie grow up, getting to one. I'm excited to see the changes, and I was looking at a video of my nephew back in 2015, and uh, I watched a video. It was early on, and then I saw a video from Christmas. He was born in January of 2015. I was watching a video from December, and just to see how much he had developed within that year and the difference. And so, I mean, seeing that was like, she's gonna be doing a lot more come next September. So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Jake.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I think absolutely going the family route. Xander will start school in August, so he most likely will go to kindergarten. So we'll have both of our kiddos will be in school, and so that'll be a big change for us having two school age kiddos will be in there. So that's something for our family. Looking forward to the new year. I think personally, just an event that Chrissy and I will both be going to is All-Star game in February. So we're really looking forward to the NBA All-Star game is being hosted in Indianapolis. It was supposed to be hosted there in 2020. We were slated to go, but then it got postponed because of COVID.
Thanks,
So
COVID.
thanks, COVID. And so they had already announced the next couple, the 2021 and 2022 sites had already been selected and planned for. And so Indy was already preparing. So they kind of already had a lot of stuff done, but um, they were able to fit Indy back in the rotation in 2023. So, or 2024, sorry. So they'll be there in February, and Chrissy and I will be going to that. It's once in a lifetime kind of experience that we both enjoyed watching basketball, and so it's something that we have the opportunity to do, and so we are going to do that together. So
Nice.
that'll be nice, and Jordan will be going with us as well.
Be a good time.
Nice.
My brother, for listeners who don't know that relation.
They should.
They should, but we got new listeners. This could be
That's right.
hooks in
That's
a
a good
new
point.
listener right now. I have a brother. His name is Jordan. He's also gone All-Star. Chrissy's my wife. We love basketball. My dad loved basketball, so I know he would have gone to an All-Star game if he was still with us. But
you'd all have better
Oh.
tickets.
yes, that is true. He would definitely front some extra money.
Yeah, I know you sure would not be sitting where you're sitting.
Hey, listen, we are in the building, okay? We are in the building, and if in the way they've redone some of the arena and Game Bridge anyway, and with Saturday night being at Lucas Oil, I mean, we're sitting where Jordan's brother-in-law has season tickets. We're 2 rows behind that spot. It's a nice spot. We scouted it. It's nice.
Not with a basketball court there.
Sounds like my spot in Arrowhead.
Yeah, pretty much
Nice
is,
spot,
you know.
but it's up there.
Right. And Gunnar has, season tickets to the Chiefs, for those of you who don't also know.
Man, I need tickets to something.
Yeah, you do. And if you want to see Jake and Jordan together, tune in to episode 100 here in a few weeks.
Oh Lord.
That's right. That's right. Okay, Colton, if you listen, two questions for you. One, you can answer your own question about what you're most excited about in the year. Second question, follow up on that, is if you could have tickets to, or season tickets to some, it could be sports, could be the Wagon Wheel Theater here in Warsaw.
My
What
grandma
would
has
you?
those.
Right. No, that was like kind of a joke, but kind of serious, because like
Mhm.
those are legit to have a season pass to Wagon Wheel. What would you want tickets in? Maybe like a dream, and then like realistically, what can you see yourself getting season tickets in? Because like
Okay, let's
can
let's,
easily
let's take
afford the
care.
Bears.
Let's take care. Let's take care of
I-
the stupid dream that you have about these season ticket thing. We'll take care of your question first.
Okay.
Dream definitely would be the Boston Celtics. Only problem is that drive is
Mhm.
hellacious.
14.
it's a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit. So figuring that out would be, something, but that would be awesome. I think what I would do is that I would just go to the games where they have like 3 to 4 game home stretches in a row and stay there, and then go maybe sell the next set of tickets so that way I can afford tickets for next year,
Mhm.
and then go through the Spain again and
Absolutely.
just live out there for 1 to 2 weeks at a time.
There you go.
Sounds great.
I know. More like reality. It's more like the Tin Caps.
Hey, there you go. I didn't think about that.
We've actually kicked around the idea of getting Comets hockey season tickets.
Yeah.
But we just haven't really gotten around to it. We had William at the first, when we really were serious about it. That's when we had William, and we'd probably go halvesies with her mom, because she's a big Comets fan, and figuring out how many to get. And
Who are the Comets?
the Fort Wayne Comets hockey team they're part of the ECHL hockey league, and right now I believe they are affiliated with the Las Vegas Golden Knights. So
Ooh, championships.
yeah,
Championship.
yeah,
The first one they were a part of, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
They didn't. I don't think they won.
Yes, they did. They won the Stanley Cup.
I thought they got second. I thought they got beat.
No, I think they won their
And-
first one, did they?
I know they
Well,
went to the Stanley Cup.
Gunner, fact check this fool. They won. Okay.
Dude, I'll do it
he's
right
already-
now.
No,
answer
no.
your question. Your question.
That's
Nice.
right.
No,
Gunner
Jake
will fact
is
check it.
talking mad.
I'm speaking the truth, similar to how I'm going to be speaking the truth here in a little bit when we get to our topic.
Oh crap! They won their first fan. Oh, they did. Never mind.
Oh,
5 games
crap.
to the
I'm
fan.
not
Here
even
we
a
go.
hockey fan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I knew
right.
that.
I'm not a hockey fan either, but this man's out here talking about
ECH.
ECHL, whatever.
ACLs and tearing his meniscus or something.
You guys are ridiculous. You guys are absolutely ridiculous. But
Okay, so
being a Bears season ticket holder, I think that'd be cool.
Pretty
Sure.
cheap.
No, they're not.
Yeah, just get nosebleeds. You'll be all right.
No way, man. There's no way.
Uh,
Yeah. So,
so
um,
what are you looking forward to?
I'm getting there. Good Lord.
Answer your question.
I am
Answer it.
trying to answer my question. You guys are strong arming me to answer it. Jeez. My answer. I am looking forward to having more family time together and being able to do more stuff as a family with William and now throw Josie into the mix and kind of what Gunnar was saying, just like her first year of development and going through everything. And I'm just kind of excited to see those changes in her that William went through and just to see how William develops into a big brother this year. So that's what, not to go the sentimental route, but I think that's what I'm most excited about is to see Josie make that first year change because it is. I feel like the first year is the biggest change because we were going through videos on Snapchat, my wife and I, and just going through like, man, how much he went from when he was born to almost that end of that first year. Everything is just completely different for him, and it's just a really really cool thing to see and be a part of. So
Nice. Very nice.
yeah, let us know at the call
Good
guys
question.
podcast at gmail.com. What are you most excited for this upcoming season?
2024.
Oh my. Oh
All right.
gosh, that's funny.
Jake,
All right, man, let's
you have
get
some
in. What?
Oh.
Is this your guys' first time?
No, Jake has some information for us.
Oh Lord.
I have some information. Listen, but before I get into the information, please set the table. Please set the stage. All right. What are we getting into tonight? And it does not matter to me who sets it. It can be Colton. It can be Kevin. It doesn't matter. Okay. We want the table to be set.
You call me Cat. I'm just,
I don't
okay.
know. I don't want to.
right.
I don't want to address
right.
it.
All right. So we've talked about this since beginning of year 2. This is our start to our last 5-part series that we're doing this year 2 of the Call Guys podcast, and this is our genre series. We're gonna have 5 parts: action, sci-fi, gangster, buddy cop, and drama. I'm pretty sure it was the 5th one. So 5 different genres, top 5 movies per genre. This week with Snake, because of the movie They Live and his namesake, which is an action movie. We're doing action.
And I appreciate you calling that an action movie because when I was preparing for this episode that I did in plenty of time before this, unlike maybe another member of the show who does their research as we start, there is some concern on my part around what is an action movie. So you brought up They Live. Is They Live an action movie? Is it a sci-fi movie? Is it a
Thriller, psychological.
thriller? Is it was it a
It's
drama
not that
even?
deep of a movie to be a thriller.
Okay, right? So deepness, right? So you define deepness, right? There has a deeper meaning to it. Is it not about subliminal messaging and what the media does to people, but it just happens to be done by aliens from outer space?
That you have to see with Ray-Bans on
Right.
Ray-Ban
And
vision.
because
and have to
Because-
have watches to go back up to their ship.
yes, and because that there are aliens in it, does it then make it science fiction, or do we truly believe that aliens exist with all the new evidence that's been given to us in the past few years on via social media? So if it is in fact a fact, then
See,
it is no longer science fiction.
Time
Gunnar, this
travel.
is what I'm talking about for
Time travel.
100. You have to sit them down and tell them the parameters
So-
from the get-go because this is what we're going to get.
So this is what you're going to get. You're going to get someone who's well prepared, who's going to set the parameters for you, Colton.
Set the parameters.
So let's hear the parameters, and I'm going to say that
I
what I
have
want to say.
I have two definitions for
Doggone
for an action film. All right, the
it. Okay.
genre of action. One
Wikipedia.
is from a source that we have been told over and over is unreliable, and that is Wikipedia. According to Wikipedia, an action genre film contains a protagonist who is thrust into a series of events that typically involve violence and physical
Physical feats.
feats.
I read
Okay,
it earlier too.
you read that earlier. Okay, so I'm like, all right, that's kind of, that's okay. I like that definition. I want a better definition. So I went to the esteemed University of Dartmouth to find the next definition that we'll share. A much more reputable site, Dartmouth University, where they have a film study department. And on their website, a quick definition for action films, and I will read it. Quote,
Explosions.
an extremely successful and influential mode of popular cinema that foregrounds spectacular moments of bodies, vehicles, and weapons, and state-of-the-art special effects. These high dynamic elements, with the actor's physical performance a central attraction, are usually held together by a fast-paced, pared down, goal-oriented narrative structure. Like the horror
Got it.
film or the thriller, the action film is defined in part by the type of experience it offers its audience, namely a visceral, exciting one of movement through usually urban space as the characters pursue a clearly specified objective, usually within a time-critical scenario. For its formal properties, narrative structure, and in the pleasures it offers its viewers, speed is considered by many to be an action film par excellence.
This is propaganda for anything Fast and Furious.
No,
This
it
is
is not.
propaganda.
No, it is not. This is from Dartmouth University. You can look this
Propaganda.
up. Searchguides.dartmouth.edu. You want to click on action films, it is on their website.
They're
So
just trying to get that's like Gunner trying to get in at Ball State that the Bill and Ted movies are the are what
pinnacle
you
of
should
sci-fi.
be measuring movies
They're the
at.
pinnacle of sci-fi.
Correct. That's exactly. But they are trying to explain that is why the Fast and the Furious movies are great movies because that is the
No,
definition, so called, of an action movie.
no, I don't think that they're arguing for Fast and Furious, but
I
they
think
are
they are.
saying that speed is the par excellence example
The movie
for
Speed.
its formal properties. Like I said, a fast-paced, pared-down, goal-oriented narrative structure. For the formal
How's that not the Fast
properties,
and
the
Furious?
narrative structure, and then the pleasures it offers the viewers. Because Fast and Furious doesn't offer me any pleasure. That's why it's annoying. That's why it didn't make
I
my
need to
list, and it will
scratch
not.
all my 5. They were all Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, go you go right ahead because they are not good. I do not mention them at all the rest of the time we're talking, other than to say they're
Good,
terrible.
good. I don't want to hear about them either.
Pockets ain't it because
That one doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense.
Well,
that
that's
doesn't
what
mean
we're out of time.
that is the
Doesn't.
nature
Okay.
of the franchise.
Okay. Okay.
Family.
So
Right.
with that frame, what would you guys like to add? Colton's already tried to undermine
Um,
Dartmouth.
Oh yeah, no, I am.
All I gotta say is sky's the limit. Do whatever you want.
Right.
There we go.
Okay. Okay.
Let us know at the
Gunners,
callguyspodcast at gmail.com.
yeah, let us know. Are you a strict interpreter of an action film definition, or are you a loose interpreter? Because Gunner's going in with this very loose interpretation of an action film.
And I
Colton,
studied film.
and yeah, he studied film. I'm coming in with a much narrower, stricter definition. Colton, where do you find yourself on this spectrum of definition of action film?
I studied film.
Yeah.
That's a great line.
Yeah,
That could
thank
be in
you.
the intro.
It's gonna be the intro. Wait. I'll forget.
I am I tried to stay away from movies that you could make a case for they could be a sci-fi movie or they could be an action movie. I tried to pick more movies that they were more action movie than other genre movie. You know what I mean? So I went a little bit more strict than Gunner, but not as strict as Jake. I feel like I'm going to be right in the middle
Okay,
where
that's
we can
great.
debate if these movies you think are certain. Are they more action or are they more sci-fi? Are they more blah 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 blah?
I'm looking forward to that role reversal. Bring it on, Gunner. You and I are having the conflict. Colton is the peacekeeper. I got those roles wrong earlier. Let's go.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
what we need.
let me
Me
let
being the
me
peacemaker.
let me
That's
Go
let me
what
until
go.
that is what
go
we
until
need.
somebody
I
doesn't get up.
that is what
Let
we
me go
need.
first.
And I will let you know. Okay, before you go, I will let you know that I wrote down 29 different movies as I was
Balls.
trying to think of
Um,
29 different. I held it up for those listeners
Yeah,
on
thank you. Thank you for
Spotify.
thank you for showing the listeners.
Yeah, I showed the listeners. I have 29
18.
movies that I came up with.
I
Okay.
have
And
18.
then I started getting strict and categorizing them. And yes. Okay. You can go first, Gunner.
I'm gonna go last Gunner. It'll go Gunner, Jake, then me.
Okay.
Um,
I
yeah,
like
I
it.
think that'll be fair
Okay, you ready?
as I'm playing peacekeeper.
Got it, boss.
Good luck.
All right. 1989. Directed by Rowdy Harrington, starring Patrick Swayze, Kelly Lynch, and Sam Elliott. One of my all-time favorites, Roadhouse. And he's already shaking his head. No, not an action movie. It is an action movie. Lots of fight scenes, helicopters flying, people getting their throats ripped out. I mean, it's straight up just action, just 80s action. And that's the thing. Um, Movie follows a professional cooler. There's a guy that goes to different clubs and bars and tries to enhance their image. Patrick Swayze plays Dalton, who's the main character who's hired for a job in New York at the Double Deuce, and he works on it and works on it, and after a couple failed attempts, he ends up ripping that guy's throat out, and that's pretty much the
If
movie.
that doesn't scream action, I don't know what else does, Jake.
That's fair. I will give that to you. In full disclosure, I've never seen that movie,
No.
and the only thing I know is that he does rip that guy's throat out. That's the only thing I know about that.
Are you serious?
Okay.
You've never seen Roadhouse?
Yeah, I've never seen it. So if that
Young Sam
infuriates
Elliott,
you,
man,
I know if you're driving down the road right now and you're cussing at me, I
Wow.
get it. I apologize, but I've never seen it.
watch it.
Wow.
Okay.
I
I
made
will
Sydney
watch it.
Okay.
Lucas watch it at Disney.
I will watch it.
At
Okay.
Disney? You made her
Yeah,
watch
Okay.
Roadhouse
we were
at Disney?
we were laying we shared a room at Disney, and we were laying there getting ready to go to bed, and it popped on the TV, and I'm like, we're watching Roadhouse, and they loved it. So
Okay.
That's awesome.
Okay. So
All right, Jake.
as I told the listeners, I wrote down 29 different films. And one TV show that was included in here because I think we also talked about movies or TV shows. No,
mhm.
no, I didn't include the TV show on any of my list. After I looked at my list of 29 and taking a strict interpretation of what an action movie is, I filtered out any movie that had to do with superheroes, science fiction, or war slash history. So my my films aren't they might be related. There's one that's related to war, but it's not like a war film, right? So everything in here is about that direct script, direct kind of they have a goal, they have a task, they have to accomplish this, they have to get there and they have to complete it. And along the way there will be maybe explosions, gunfire, bodies, you name it, that's going down. Okay. And usually or maybe in an urban environment, different settings, that kind of thing. I'm
Urban
setting the stage.
environment.
Okay. This is a strict interpretation. I've read you what Dartmouth has to say. Look it up yourself. Okay. My number five is a 2008 film where the ex-CIA operative Brian Mills tracks down his abducted daughter and also shined an early light on human trafficking issues throughout the
Particular
world.
set of skills.
And that is the movie Taken. All
Good
right, a very
luck.
simple, yes, and now a quotable movie because you guys have now quoted two of the most famous lines that Liam Nielsen's character speaks in that movie. But it is a very straightforward. There is one goal to get his daughter back, and he's not going to let anyone stand in his way to accomplish that. And so it's got car chase, like there's gunfire in it. There are, I don't know how many people he actually kills, like
There's
along
a
Not
the
as many
way.
as John Wick,
scene.
but
Not as many as another movie that may or may not make my list. So
oh, sorry.
let's just leave it at that, Gunner. Um, but I did want to also just put that in there too, that it did have a different kind. It was an action film, but it also was kind of about human trafficking at the same time. So kind of that aspect of it that you don't see covered a lot in film, but is a real issue in our world and would be a real concern. I know, I have a daughter, and you guys know I also have daughters, and it's like we want to make sure that our daughters were safe, and I don't know that allowing them to go with just their friend over to Paris would be a great idea. So if Aurora ever asks me if she wants to go with her best friend to Paris, I'm going to tell her, no, I've seen Taken, so you are not allowed.
You just
And
give her that movie, be like, here you go,
I,
hon. Here's your research for Paris.
right, watch this. Okay. Now, instead of your dad being Liam Nielsen, watch Bubble Boy. Okay, I'm Jake Gyllenhaal.
That's so funny.
That's my skill. So I can just run.
My skill set.
I'll try and find you. Hopefully, I befriend a cult and maybe some sort of Hispanic motorcycle gang member. Anyway, this isn't about Bubble Boy. This is about Taken. My number five is 2008 movie Taken.
Nice.
That's hysterical. That's awesome.
I know you curious. I can't remember if I put that in my honorable mentions or not. I did not.
Okay.
Oh
Cool.
my.
Colt,
So mine's gonna be a little bit different how I did mine.
you
I-
Halloween. Sorry.
No. Sorry, Logan. Forgive him for he knows not what he does.
He knows that.
Anywho, I went a little bit different. I struggled with picking just one movie out of maybe a trilogy or a bunch of movies. So I'm going to go with a set of movies and then pick my favorite movie out of those sets of movies. Okay, so I have five. I have five sets of movies.
Trilogy
Okay.
born.
What'd you say?
Awesome.
Is that your number 5?
We
Oh,
got
number 3. My number 3.
Number 5.
What? I thought we were doing top 3.
Top 5. Where are you at?
top five. What are
Oh.
you doing?
Wow. Not listening.
And it strikes again. You know what, Gunnar? What you really want to do is I would appreciate if you would go back when you have time, obviously, between changing diapers or maybe you're doing, bottle feeding later at night when you get to that. And it would just be, I'd appreciate if you go back and just find the clips where Colton does not pay attention or listen. And I'll tell you what, this is my third time in a row on an episode, listeners,
I think it's you.
where you are not paying attention to what is going on and what's being talked about. And here we are now. Gunnar and I clearly stated it, our number 5, and you come in hot with your number 3.
Yep, I did.
Okay, so that is it really your number 3, or are you saying no? This
Well,
is
now I'm
Five.
gonna, because I had honorable mentions lined up, and now I don't have any honorable mentions lined up.
Okay, listen. Here's what happens. Okay, this is what I want to do. It's not my show, but here's what I want to do. Okay, you Colton don't get pick any of your movies. You have to pick between our 2 movies as to be your number 5. You don't get to say anything as punishment for not listening. Now,
I would
it's not my show. Not my show.
I like
Okay.
that idea. We should have talked about that in the pre-production meeting.
Well, I assumed you would listen during the show, therefore
Nope.
we wouldn't have to enact this. But you know what? From now,
Here we are.
anytime that I'm
Here
on,
you are blowing it
will
out of
be-
proportion. Gunnar
this
wants to
will be
move
the
on.
rule.
Gunnar
No.
wants to move on.
Nope. Listen. No, you're supposed to be peacekeeper.
Name's
And
Kevin.
here you are. Slaving away with a hammer at
Here
me.
you are messing it up again. All right. What's your number 5? What is it
Thank
called?
you. I appreciate that. We're gonna go with the Shia LaBeouf Transformer movies. We're going with number 1, the 07 OG. Yes. Come on, Gunnar. What do you got? No, are you serious?
Oh, headset
Oh my
off for those of you
gosh.
listening, and Gunnar has walked
Headset off
away.
and walked off the set. Wow. I'm
Yeah.
curious. Do you not think it's an action movie? What do we just not
It's
like that
not an
movie
action
enough?
movie. It's a science fiction movie.
Hey,
It is
hey,
it, ju-
whoa, 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 whoa. We just sat through Gunner.
you're talking to a strict interpreter of what an action
I
film
know. And
is.
my freelance
It is
and my
not.
freelancer is nowhere to be found to help
What?
Well,
defend
then
why
you're
this
just
movie
left with
should
me.
be let us known
Th-
as a
then you're just left with me, who I tell you that that's a sci-fi action movie, not an action sci-fi
I
movie.
don't care what you
Just
say.
because Michael Bay directs it and there are more explosions doesn't make it an action movie. It
It's
makes
in
it
the urban. It's in the
no,
urban.
it makes it an overpriced sci-fi movie. That's what it makes it.
He
Well,
does
you're
have he
wrong.
does have an A to B. He's getting there as quick as he can. I'll defend that a little bit. South
Okay.
Park. That's about the only thing it's got though.
An A to B.
Aliens.
Okay, it has twists. It has
Oh
like
yeah.
it has a twist. There's no twist in Taken. It's like he just trying to find his daughter. She's not here. Oh, there's the jacket. Next clue. Next clue. Next clue. Found her.
But don't we really just really start to wonder if he's just a good dad because he let his daughter do this?
Okay, fair enough. All right, so yours is Transformers. Gunner's not defending you. I'm certainly not defending you on that one. Let's round out number five. So let's move on to number
Oh
fours
wow. We just
or Colton's honorable mention still.
pulled out of my
Hunter,
mentions.
what's
All
your
right.
number 4? Jake, shut up.
2010, directed by I'm assuming he's one of your favorite directors of all time, Edgar Wright. Um, based on the Canadian graphic novels by Brian Lee O'Malley, starring Michael Cera, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Kieran Culkin, Anna Kendrick, Jason Schwartzman, and oh my God, there's so many more, so many more. Scott Pilgrim versus the
Scott
World.
Pilgrim. You didn't know that,
Oh,
Jake?
geez. Goodness gracious.
Okay,
I
Gunner,
watched,
walk me through how that's an action movie.
please,
Oh,
please
100%.
do.
That's all it is action. All it is fight scenes, and he's trying to get the girl, and he's got to fight all these boyfriends,
It's a love
and
story. It's a love story.
it's a little it's action
It's a love story.
romance.
It's a
It's not a
teenage
love
love
story.
story. It's a
It's
teenage love story
based on an action-packed graphic novel.
based on a
Graphic
true,
novels.
I thought you were going to say based on a true story.
Yeah, he falls in love with Ramona, has to battle her 7 ex-boyfriends. Um, the style alone in this movie is why it's in my top 5. Just the fact that it's got all that upbeat, actiony graphic novel style, you know, punches and pows and bangs and booms and stuff. And fight scenes are fun. It's a fun movie overall, and it's got a great cast.
That is a romance movie.
And you're busting my
That's a
chops over
romance movie.
Transformers.
No,
I
this is an
am.
action. This is an action movie.
It's a romance. Okay. All right. Well, this is going well. Okay.
Let me find Google. Let me find Google
Listen.
here.
That's fine. You can
Find
You
Google.
can Google all you want. I have Dartmouth on my side. That is not an action movie.
Do
All
you
right.
think
Now
we are Dartmouth people here?
I know our listeners are certainly Dartmouth
I
people.
don't believe that. Listen to the Call Guys podcast at gmail.com if you feel like you are a Dartmouth listener or a Call Guys listener.
or an Ivy Tech Community College listener.
Come on, man. That's not
Okay.
nice.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay,
ITT
so you got a
technical
little bit
institute.
of comedy, musical, science fiction, thriller, horror, drama, short, action, documentary.
Oh,
Documentary?
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. It's listed right above documentary.
So it's an action movie. It says it on the right there. It's a
Okay.
great movie.
I just want to know what our listeners are thinking and yelling at that. I know my brother Jordan's listening to it, and I know he's picking a side here. We are forcing people to choose, and these are the episodes I love. This is what it's about.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Number 4.
Email us, callguyspodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. That's the 4th time we plugged that email. Somebody send us an email. Okay. My number 4 absolutely is the pinnacle of every action movie as defined by Dartmouth. It is Speed. It's back again. I've already talked about it on these episodes
Oh
before.
my gosh.
Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock. What more do you want?
It's a love story.
Is The per excellence. It is not a love story because that is not the main point. The protagonist they do fall in love, but that's after all of the action has already occurred. I've mentioned it, I've spoken to it on length. Go back and listen to previous episodes. I especially enjoy the moment where they're skirting on the piece of metal into the cones as the bus drives into an airliner and explodes. One of my favorite scenes, but then it's not even over. Like you think that's the apex of the movie. It's not. It's not over yet. So anyway, really awesome action movie. It is Speed. Yes, back again, baby.
Nice.
Huh.
Can't argue that
Probably,
one.
it's probably been the best action movie actually said so far.
Oh, what is
Taken,
that?
Taken was pretty
Dartmouth?
good.
Oh, par excellence of an action film.
Our excellence bull.
Speed. Go ahead.
Colton,
I'm
second
going
honorable
with.
mention.
I am going with. Thank you. I appreciate you shouting that out, Gunnar. Um, I am going with Daniel Craig's James Bond movies. And I am going to start with and I think it's one of my favorites. It's Skyfall. Um, I just love that. I love that fight that he has through the whole movie about how he's really just fighting the demons that it was his family and what he had to come through to get to where he is today, to be the James Bond that he is today. And I just really, really like that storyline. And Craig is one of my favorite Bonds. So just really, really enjoy that storyline.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Colton. It is a different kind of Bond take, right? It's not like a very cookie cutter Bond action film. So it's a little more drama in that aspect of it, but certainly a nice reprieve from maybe just the cookie cutter approaches, right? Oh, the dead space was there. Oh, it's palatable here.
Yeah, it's that
Gunner, what's your number 3, brother?
I'm going straight up sci-fi action on this one.
Sci-fi action.
You can't even say action first.
Action doesn't come first.
Sci-fi.
Action does not come first on this one. It has to deal with superpowers. It has to deal with an out of
Mystery
this
Man.
world experience kind of thing. 2012, directed by Josh Trank, stars Dane DeHaan, Michael B. Jordan, Alex Russell. 3 high school friends gain superpowers after making an incredible discovery underground in its chronicle. Fun movie, great action sequences. I love the found footage idea of this movie. I've seen it too many times, and found footage is just one of those things as a person who has studied film, as I say that again in this.
You try to solidify your picks.
Found footage
Yes.
is just amazing to watch, but it's a guilty pleasure movie. It really is, and it's fun to watch, and there's a lot of action, destroying the town, the one kid floating in the sky, and yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. When you say found footage, what do you mean?
like one of the characters holding the camera.
Okay, so it's like we're reliving what has already
Yeah,
occurred
sort
kind of deal.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
okay.
a lot of people will call that like a handheld camera found footage, I think
Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity,
Paranormal, Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch, and what's the other big one with the alien?
District 9.
Cloverfield. District 9
Cloverfield?
wasn't. Yeah, District 9 wasn't found footage, but
It wasn't?
no,
No,
Or Cloverfield was.
Cloverfield. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
Chronicle.
Yeah, and I think some of the issues with found footage though is having to stabilize the camera, right?
That's the point of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Cloverfield. I actually got sick, like
Yeah.
motion sickness in that one.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
No argument on that one.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want an argument? Because you argued against yourself when we started, which you admitted this is sci-fi action and that they have superpowers. So I mean, yes, the action is there, but why is the action there? Because they have superpowers.
Yep.
So I'd say it's more of a not superhero per se, because I don't know if I don't want to spoil too much, but I don't. There is no hero in that one.
Nope.
But yeah, it's not. There's no like. Yeah, no. You argued against yourself enough, Gunner, and so we're gonna move on from that. Number 3 for me is a 1996 release based off of the 1966 TV series following IMF agent Ethan Hunt, and that is Mission Impossible. The first one, the OG kind of a deal. Now, I'm not taking the series approach, Colton, that you're taking, and maybe I've stolen one of the series that you were getting ready to talk about. But I went with the original one because it is much more narrow and straightforward and not necessarily like multiple moving parts or different twists and turns that some of the newer ones might have, as well as not trying too hard to be a comedy, which I feel the newer Mission Impossibles with the introduction of like a Simon Pegg character has become the writing is better, the jokes are funny, like it's enjoyable to watch it, but it's becoming more of a comedy then in that aspect than it is becoming a straight action movie where
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, I need
Stunts
to
and
solve
crazy
it.
stuff.
Yeah, and I could,
Okay,
yeah.
my number 3 is the same thing. It is Ethan Hunt. It is the
we
IMF.
we
It
matched.
is
Do we have like a thing? Like,
it
can we do like a bell or like a ding ding or like a something? Woo! We have like a horn that goes off when we match. That's what you need to do.
I feel like, I have a theory on Simon Pegg's character
Okay.
being introduced in number 3. Number 2 was so bad that
Pause.
applause. Yeah, play that as I got that plugged in, huh?
Yep.
Obviously. Anywho, that they needed to bring a character in to, give it a little
Yes.
extra twist, a little flavor to the water. So, but I agree with you 100% that the first one, that with John Hoyt, that was classic action spy thriller, and that was one of my things with when I was making this list, especially putting James Bond and Ethan Hunt in there, is that are these action movies or are they more like spy movies? But I don't think spy movies is technically a genre, but could it be? I think we've got enough spy movies out there to have its own genre right now.
I think you can petition Dartmouth to maybe assign
Gosh,
the
eat
spy
a
movie genre.
bag of Dartmouth.
Wow. Do we have to put the E for, explicit content next to this
Yeah,
E.
not made for
this
kids.
episode?
Not made
Oh
for
my
kids.
Wow,
gosh, I'm not
about
listening.
did.
Hey, stop talking
You
about
about did.
Dartmouth
Okay.
like you know
So,
something about Dartmouth. But
I mean,
anywho,
did you research Dartmouth? No.
but the action in the movies, they always get like the next movie, there's always something. There's like another step that Tom Cruise does that is just as insane as the movie before.
Yeah. Agreed. And just a sidebar fun fact. I always thought that was it Gordon Bombay got impaled on the elevator. I always thought that was him. Is it him? I'm still
Emilio?
confused on whether or not that's the same person.
Emilio?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I think he got tired of I think he lost too many district hockey games. So he's like, I need to go
Maybe.
put my lawyer skills to test, and he tested into the IMF.
Quack.
Yeah.
Quack.
Yeah.
Quack.
And
Right, but isn't it him?
Quack.
Is that I keep thinking that it's not him, but then I think it is him. Is that the same actor? Is that still Emilio?
I
are we
don't think
being
so.
serious?
I don't think so either. I think it's different, but they look similar.
It was probably Charlie Sheen.
I think Colton thinks it is.
Wait, what are we talking about? I'm hold up.
So in Mission Impossible, the original
Okay.
Mission Impossible,
Yeah.
there's Jack who is on the elevator and he's trying to
Yeah.
control the
Yeah,
elevator,
the
right?
tech guy.
Yeah. I always think that that's
Emilio Estevez.
Emilio
I don't-
Estevez,
it's not.
Gordon Bombay, but it's not. I don't think it is. And I think Colton thinks it is, and Gunnar does not.
Oh, I think we talked about this the last time.
We talked about you thought Ben Affleck was in Saving Private Ryan.
Yep,
That's what
That's
what
who
you
I
thought.
thought. Yep. But it's
Some no name probably. Look that up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with my number 2.
Good call. We don't want to
yeah,
sit here in
does your
silence
number
and
2
look
make you
it up.
cry?
No, but this movie is actually it came out in 2020, directed by Christopher Nolan. Um, turned on to me by the one and only CT1209, starring John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Michael Caine. Washington plays a character called the protagonist. And this movie is called Tenet. And I don't know if either one of you've seen this movie,
I've seen it 4 times.
and you still couldn't understand it the fourth time you watched it.
I did not understand it the first time.
Oh, 100%.
No clue what was going on. I remember being completely confused. Like as it's happening, like what is going on? And then you kind of catch different things and you're like, wait, hold
Yeah,
on. Then you watch it second time, and then you're like, oh my gosh, yes, I see so much more, so much more, so much more. And even after the fourth time, I'm still catching
more.
things that are little things that are more and more. Before we dig in too much more to Tenet, which is an excellent choice, by the way, let's go back to Colton because I think he has information to share with the
It's Emilio
listeners.
Estevez.
It is. He's uncredited. It is Emilio.
Oh,
I've
wow.
never thought
Okay.
it wasn't Emilio.
I thought it looked very similar, but it wasn't exactly him.
No, because the first time I watched it and I was older, obviously, and I've obviously seen Mighty Ducks 1,000 times. And my first thought when I was watching it with my dad, I was like, why'd they kill Bombay so
Yeah.
fast? I was like, I thought he was like a dude like during this time. And I don't
Not in that.
know.
Not in that.
I guess
Okay.
you gotta kill a guy with a name.
All right. So Tenet,
Emilio.
back to Tenet.
Back to Tenet. I'm sorry.
Thoughts on Tenet.
Have you ever seen it, Colton? Have you seen
Me?
Tenet? Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it twice. Yeah, I give it action. Um, it's definitely a mind trip movie.
Oh yeah, that first time watching it, and when they show everything and how all that's reversed and all that stuff, it just blows your mind. And then, like Jake said, you rewatch it back through, and it's like you see some of those things that they show, and then it just yeah.
It's like Fight Club to me. Like that's
Yeah. So before we get into the mind bending genre a little bit, that is my only issue with it is that it just is confusing. Like the my strict interpretation is that it is pared down, straightforward, no
This one's
nonsense,
not straightforward. Yeah.
not at all,
not
not at all.
straightforward.
And I saw lists where like Inception was on this list too of like top action movies was Inception. Like I'm like, I mean, there's action in it, but it's like it's
Yeah, I
so out
agree.
there that it's like, I don't know. Tenet's kind of like that too. Like,
When I say sky's the limit,
well, yeah, but it's also like kind of sci-fi, right?
it
It's
is. It
kind of
is. Oh
science
yeah.
fiction
Yeah.
because they
I'd say it's
figured
a
out
little
that
bit of
everything.
drama too. Probably. I would give it a little bit of drama.
Not really.
With everything.
I'm thinking so much I can't even pay attention to the drama.
Yeah, that's true.
Thinking so much.
Also true.
Right?
Also true. So yeah, my number two is Tenet.
Okay.
So it does make you cry sometimes
No, it's
No.
just a really
from
good
thinking
movie.
too hard.
Yeah,
No,
probably.
frustration,
My eyes start
frustration from
bleeding.
thinking.
Maybe I'm crying blood from my going. What is going on?
Crying blood.
Jake,
Wow.
does your number
Okay.
two make you cry?
24 is a
N
lot of numbers. So
no, it doesn't. It doesn't make me cry, but that was an excellent transition. It doesn't make me cry, but it does feature someone who does cry. It features a crying scene in an action movie. That's kind of crazy, right? What could it be? Well, released in October of 1982, a Vietnam veteran spotlight, and also meets the entire that also spotlights not only the Vietnam veterans who returned to America, but some of the intolerance and indifference that was met by many of them. All right. And that is John Rambo returning home and meeting an intolerant sheriff and just absolutely going full guerrilla warfare on this town and the sheriff. Okay. And featuring a scene where Sylvester, a young Sylvester, who has a very thick accent, cries, and I still don't know everything that he says. I know he's talking about some of the of his friends who had been killed in action, and he's talking about their like innards and how they're not there anymore, and he's bawling, and it's just like, I don't really understand it, but I know he's going through a lot, and that is
Mhm.
Rambo First Blood.
Walking Tall.
That's what you do. You go. You're gonna offer Walking Tall after Rambo First Blood.
Oh
No, I'm not.
gosh.
See, I'm not a big Stallone fan, so I mean,
I agree. I second the motion. Motion
I
passes.
just I've
Stallone
never
sucks.
Rocky, the first Rocky movie, I'm okay. But yeah, after any of that, it's just
Give me more Thunder Lips.
I enjoyed it more in Creed than I did in any of his actual movies.
I hope there's someone out there listening to this that is also silently raging with me. If you disagree with these two lunatics that we are currently are listening to, and you believe that Rambo First Blood has solidified its place as a top two movie of action, please let us know at the Call Guys podcast at gmail.com.
Good save.
Nice,
Thanks.
nice. I mean, I'm happy that you like Rambo.
Happy you like Rambo?
Yeah, I can just see him with his camouflage and painted up and
Okay, Colton, what's your number two? Does it make you cry? And I hate both of you.
It doesn't make me cry. But I'm going with a very famous Harrison Ford role. Indiana Jones.
no, they're gonna go Blade Runner.
Oh, ooh, Blade Runner would be a good one. But I'm going with The Last Crusade. Favorite one out of them. Sean Connery really solidified being next to Harrison Ford in that movie, I felt like. And just great storyline the whole way through. And Jake, I would love to know and understand why this doesn't make an action movie for you.
The treasure hunting movie. The treasure hunting. It's
Oh,
treasure
Well,
hunter.
still action.
It's
That's
treasure
it.
hunter.
Treasure Hunter.
But
He's a-
yeah,
he's
You're
a
gonna
treasure
put this
hunter.
movie in the same category as
The-
National Treasure?
Yes.
Wow. Shame on
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Shame on you.
I learned
Shame.
more. I learned more watching National Treasure than I did Raiders of the Lost Ark or whatever. Last Crusade, sorry, that you
Wow.
mentioned.
Who's listening now?
Not me. Because I tuned out when you said a treasure hunter movie. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's a great movie. It is an excellent movie. Anything more you'd like to add, or Gunnar, that you would like to
no, I
add
mean,
on here?
those are the first three are just classics. So I mean,
Yeah, the first three. Yeah, let's get that. Let's get that. Yeah, I should
I
definitely.
I don't feel like to give you the feel of just a big action film, but I mean, in the time, probably more so categorized as action. Yeah.
Nothing, Jake. Come on, you had something. I see it.
In
I see it.
the time, Rainbow First Blood, 1982, straightforward
Nah,
action.
nah. I mean, I didn't say it wasn't action. I just said I don't
In the
enjoy
time.
Rambo.
I know you don't. I know you don't. Okay, honorable mentions. What honorable mentions you got, Gunnar?
Yeah, I got a bunch. Baby Driver, um, Battleship.
Whoa. Hold on here.
Oh
Baby
my
Driver?
God,
Why
here
wouldn't
we
that be an
go.
action? Why wouldn't Baby Driver be action?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing it as a car movie.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, but car chase, gunfire, chase scenes, action.
Such a broad definition. Like any movie that has a gun that goes
Eh.
off and a car that starts is an
Eh.
action movie.
Hey.
Okay.
Fast
All
and
right, Gunnar.
Furious.
I'm sorry.
And then
Battleship.
he did
Battleship.
science fiction.
Battleship, Jumper,
Gunnar,
Wanted,
that-
Kick Ass, Shanghai Nights, Tropic Thunder, Free Guy, The Atom Project.
Shanghai Nights. Love it. I love Shanghai Nights. That one stays. Shanghai Nights stays.
No
All those
way you
action
were gonna
movies.
no way you're gonna throw Shanghai Nights before Shanghai Noon. What are you doing?
I like
The
them both.
sequel.
I like them both.
Then why didn't you put Shanghai Noon? Because Shanghai Nights is nowhere
I
near
was
Shanghai
typing.
Noon.
I was typing.
You
I
were
was
just
like,
typing. Okay.
I was like, oh yeah, Shanghai Nights.
It
Shanghai
stays.
Noon.
I
It
love, I
both
love
does.
stay.
both.
They
I
both
have
stay.
Shanghai Noon on
They're
DVD. I don't have Shanghai Nights on DVD. I
That's a
was
good
just
point.
going
Comedy, drama, Western.
action.
Take your pick.
It's a Jackie Chan film.
Yeah, anything
course
Jackie
it's
Chan's in,
action.
it's obviously action.
Okay, no, that's a kung fu movie, and you know that's its own genre.
Is that still not an action Is
It's
that
not.
does Kung
It's
Fu
not.
not fall under
Kung-
the action umbrella?
it doesn't. It doesn't.
Sky is the limit.
Yeah, sky's the limit over here with his
Yeah.
interpretation. And you haven't been much of a peacekeeper. You've definitely been taking sides.
Haven't taken any sides.
I feel attacked. I need more people to come to my aid.
Just wait
Please,
for my
let's.
number one. It's just 100%
It's
sci-fi.
it's 100%
It's
sci-fi.
100%.
I can't wait. It's gonna be Alien number one. All
No.
right.
Honorable mentions.
Sorry, honorable mentions for me. Born Identity, the original, the first one, not any of the
Mhm.
other ones where we get too crazy with it. Just the first one, very straightforward. He's got to figure out who he is. Pretty simple. Harrison Ford movie that I hoped Colton was going for. He took a hard, sharp turn away from it. He should have stayed the course. Get off my plane. Air Force One.
Air Force One. Oh my god.
Very straightforward script, straightforward. What do we have to do? Air Force One's been hijacked. We need to recover it. Save the president. That's it.
Good lord.
Yep. Speaking of saving the president, I Am Snake Plissken. Escape from New York is an action movie. You're welcome.
Terrible movie.
This wasn't the it's an
I
honorable
know,
mention. Okay, it's
I
not my
know.
top five. It's an honorable mention. Though you also mentioned Sean Connery in your Harrison Ford. Again,
Rock.
wish you would have stayed the course with The Rock. That's right. Very straightforward. Ed
I knew that
Harris is
one.
the bad guy, which is kind of odd. Also, no one has given my man Kurt Russell that I can think of some love, so I'll give Kurt Russell some love. Big Trouble, Little China. All right, very straightforward
Okay.
action movie on that. I don't know why you hate Stallone so much, but Cliffhanger definitely makes my honorable mentions. And finally, the first movie I thought of when you said we're doing action is a Schwarzenegger movie that no one's really listed either, which you could have listed Terminator 2. It's not my number one. Is Last Action Hero.
Oh my gosh.
That is an action movie that is a strict interpreter, but Terminator 2 obviously is a sci-fi movie.
Thought you were
But
going Collateral for a second.
Collateral Damage is what he's in, if that's what you were going for.
Yeah, same movie. Sucks.
I think Collateral isn't that the
That's
Tom
that's
Cruise
the Tom Cruise, Jamie
and
Foxx
Jamie
movie.
Foxx?
Yeah,
Right.
Collateral Damage, I think is the movie that you're trying to
No,
I'm trying to think
that
of. Now,
you're
now I gotta,
don't put this on me.
now
I said
now
Last
I gotta
Action
look
Think
it
of
Hero,
up.
what?
and you were incorrect. Like, don't put that on me. The listeners know Colton was wrong.
Okay, while he's Googling again, I'm gonna get my number one. That way you guys can dog on it and I can be
Does he
done.
does he not do honorable mentions, or is he looking
He
up
already
honorable
did his
mentions?
honorable mentions.
I already did my honorable mentions. There were
They were
I'm not
four, and
listening
five.
anymore.
4 and 5.
No. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh
Okay, so
gosh.
2011, directed by J.J. Abrams. Nothing.
Hold
Super
on,
8.
hold on.
Super
Man,
8?
I was right there. I was gonna be there because listen, when you said discovered film, or what is that?
Found
Discovered
footage.
found footage, yeah. When you said found footage, my first idea was like the Super 8 because it was like they're making the film kind of a
Yeah.
deal. And so I kind of thought of that and I was like, oh, that's a really big sci-fi. But you would of course put that in here
It,
under
it,
action
it is
film.
definitely 100% a sci-fi. And obviously because Alien, if there was some other aspect, if it wasn't an alien, but I mean that would take away the whole sci-fi part of it. I mean, you get the relationship with his dad, his mom's dead, the whole thing with the girls and the train crash and the army coming in and taking over the town. I mean, it's just the kids just want to make their movie, and probably not as much. I mean, it definitely that one definitely shouldn't be on my list, but when I was making my list, it was like, yeah, sure, that's an action movie. And I love that movie, so it's going number one slot. So I mean, I could change it out for Tenet. Tenet could probably be my actual number one.
Starship Troopers
I
could be
could
your number
just,
one.
I could just make a whole new list if you really want me to
Hancock.
right now. Hancock, that's a great film.
Top Gun. Nobody said Top Gun.
Mm,
Okay.
I
Anyway,
like Top Gun. Just yeah. All
that's
right,
fair.
I'm
Okay.
done.
My number one is a 2017 film. It is a sequel, which is rare for me to do the sequel and not the original as a top movie. But at a box office opening of 170, grossing $174 million on a $40 million budget. I'd say they came out ahead on this film. It's one of those rare moments where the sequel surpasses your expectations because the bar was set high with the original and you knew exactly what they were going to do as far as an action movie. Okay, in the
Shrek
action
2.
genre, it's very difficult. Be quiet. It's very difficult for you to have a great action movie number one and then
And I
surpass it with
will.
number two. Okay, this was a film where the lead character, all right, the lead actor who plays the lead character, sorry, had to do extensive training and has been uh, documented as trained exclusively for months and months on end to be able to manipulate weapons as well as do hand-to-hand combat.
Oh yeah, no, I already, we mentioned this earlier. Now I know
We
what it is.
have, we have, and it's come
Keanu
back
Reeves.
is Keanu Reeves in John Wick 2. Now, John Wick 1 was a major surprise, kind of caught us because our bar had been set by my number five, which was Taken. If you remember when Taken came out, everyone was like, oh my gosh, Liam Nielsen like beasted all those guys, beasted all those guys. And then John Wick occurred, and you're like, oh, he really beasted all those guys. Like the tactical abilities of Keanu and then to play that character, amazing. And then in John Wick 2, you're going back and you know exactly what you're going to get with John Wick 2. You've seen it in John Wick 1. You're like, what more can there be? There really isn't much more. It's pretty straightforward and simple about it, but he kills like twice as many people somehow in the second movie, and it is awesome. So part of the cinematography is cool. The amount of or the lack of cuts they have in some of their action sequences are amazing because of the again the training that he went through to make sure that he could do so many moves before they had to cut the film. Is just something that is very interesting to watch and a different way to watch film. So my number one is John Wick 2.
It's fun to go watch the videos of him in all of his training courses and stuff that he did, and he spent a lot of time training for those movies. And yeah, good
You
pick.
you can see it. You can tell.
Mm-hmm. Colton.
Good number ones. Good number ones.
Hey,
I'm actually surprised, Gunner, you didn't say a John Wick movie.
Yeah, I didn't even put in my honorable mentions. Didn't even see when I was making this list, my brain was hurting because there are so many movies and so many things, and we should have done just action dramas or just action comedies.
Makes it more fun this way.
It does. We get
Makes
more
it a lot more
arguments.
fun.
yeah, I've had
Um,
fun being berated.
Being
Colton.
berated.
Rainbow.
I've got to go with we've talked about it. It's been talked about. So I got my number
Born.
one. I remember seeing this movie in theater with my dad. And watching it almost all the time. It seemed like when it came out on DVD. What'd you say?
Shrek 2.
Oh no, not Shrek 2. When it came out on DVD, I remember it was just always a movie we watched, and we saw all the other ones in theater. And it's the 2002 flick,
Born.
The Bourne Identity, Jason Bourne. Those first three movies, Matt Damon, are just great. The first one is fantastic because that is the only thing you're trying to figure out the whole time is who is Jason Bourne, and
Oh my
just
God, that's Jason Bourne.
exactly, and just a great series. I just love it, and probably just more of a sentimental thing. With I remember that being one of the movies me and my dad going to and thinking, man, this is great. Like I hope they make another. And so yeah, I'm gonna go with The Bourne Identity,
How about
Jason
them
Bourne.
apples?
Well, I got her number.
We can't do that. Come on now. Can't do that. We can't. That's a romance, drama, comedy. It's not an action film. Don't bring that up in here.
Great
It's
movie.
more drama. It's got to be the number one. If you're gonna build that, of the genres, you put drama first, don't you? For that movie,
Yes. Yes.
I would think so
Absolutely.
too. What would be
It's a
second? Comedy?
No, I wouldn't think so.
romance.
Romance. Yeah, I'd go romance.
Oh, okay, yeah, I could see that.
Romance. I
Romance
mean,
comedy.
that is the point of the end of it, right? The point is it's a drama between characters, and then it's a romance for him to get the girl.
I got her number. All right, gentlemen, good list.
Some were better than
Jake,
others.
good list.
I cannot wait. Okay, I cannot wait. You're gonna listen to this on New Year's Day. All right, there's gonna be people that are gonna be upset. They're gonna be on my side. I need us to come out in full force. So listeners, back me up at the callguyspodcast@gmail.com. Back me up on this. All right, now listen. Also, I don't have Armageddon on here. It's a sci-fi film. Don't get me started on it. It's not happening. Okay, so I think ISO Cam, I think, is the one that usually comes in with Armageddon. But anyway, okay, don't bring that in here. So that being said, we do have some outros, Gunner, that you're going to do. Appreciate that. And I feel that tonight was a success. Thank you again for having me on. It was a
It was
great episode.
absolute success.
Absolutely. I can't wait for episode 100, and I'm going to have some backup on site. I cannot wait.
I
Yep.
am not excited.
Yes.
Next week for the genre series, we'll be joined by Tony, and we will be talking sci-fi. So I'm just gonna bring my list in this
Sci-fi.
week.
Gunner,
Yes.
I can just see Gunner going Super 8.
Super 8. Super 8's number one.
I legitimately almost could take my whole list and just turn it into sci-fi. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for listening to the Call Guys podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, wherever you get those podcasts. You can also watch us on YouTube. Just search for the Call Guys podcast. And you can find us on all your favorite social media accounts. Facebook, facebook.com/thecallguyspod, TikTok @thecallguys, and Instagram @thecallguyspodcast. And if you enjoy listening to us, go check out goldenmojoent.com, where you can find all the other podcasts, whether that be the Golden Image Podcast, the United States Paranormal Podcast, the Golden 80s Podcast, the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast, A Quarter Books and Booze, or the Murdnerds. Check out the website. Let us know what you think. Rate and review us. Spotify, Apple Podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Please send us an email. I think we've said it 455 times tonight. It's divisible
Hey,
by a
I
lot of
think I know
numbers.
what's up with ISO. ISO is probably in hiding because his Pistons just broke the most consecutive loss record in the NBA.
That's fair.
Love you, ISO.
Yeah, Kane, where you at? Send us an email. Callguyspodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, boy.
All right, you guys got anything else? Jake, thanks.
Yeah, Jake. As always, brother. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. I'm more disappointed in Gunner that he gave you the topic of which we were doing. Because you have said on here many times that you want to be a guy that just comes in shooting from the hip with not much to go off of.
He needed the research for this one.
But
Yeah.
hold on, let me finish here, Gunner. But now that we have actually gotten through this episode, I feel like you being the preparedness that you had really set the bar for future guests to be on. So I
So
don't
you're
want to
welcome.
say
welcome.
thank you, but
You're welcome. Okay. I know you were going to. You're welcome. It's not a problem. All right. I did text Gunner just to get an idea and a
I
feeler out
know.
there. I have said that I don't mind shooting from the hip. I don't mind going in blind. We did the dad's episode. I came in blind, totally fine. Of course, you reiterated that I would be absolutely fine going into it, which was true. Because just talking about experience and that kind of a thing. So that was all good. I don't mind coming in, slinging some hot takes, and then getting out. Not a problem with that at all. But I do also enjoy preparing and having things set up. That way I can frame my conversation at least and let you know how wrong you are.
Yes, I know how this goes.
Because Dartmouth doesn't lie.
Dartmouth doesn't lie. That's their new
That's right.
slogan.
That's
their
going to
new
be it right
slogan.
there. Okay, this is the title of it. It's Top 5 Action Movies brought to you by Dartmouth University, parentheses.
Dartmouth doesn't lie.
Dartmouth don't lie. That's right.
And then P.S. Gunner apparently likes sci-fi.
And Gunner loves sci-fi. He also loves found film, discovered film, whatever it's called. I can't
Found
forget.
footage.
Found
Found
footage.
footage. I can't remember it. It's fine. Maybe make that the title.
Found
Can
footage.
we just do a found footage list? Are there enough movies to do found footage?
Sure.
I would think so, yeah.
Really? Because I can only think of like 3 movies, the ones we've named.
The ones we named. Yeah. All right. Love you, brothers. All
Love you, brother.
right.
Love you, brother.
For all those out there in podcast land, see you next time.
Later. See ya.
Peacemaker? Is that what it was?
Bye.
Peacekeeper.
I hate movies with anybody from the Expendables. All bad movies.
I 100% agree.
Thank you.
I hate.
Let's start this pod.
I cannot stand those movies.
Okay, hold on. Time out. That's 2 different points. That's two
Nope.
different points.
Start the pod,
No.
Gunner. Intros.
Gunner is we will bring this
Welcome
back
to the
up.
Call Guys podcast.
We will bring this up again. But Gunner's making the point that the Expendables are terrible movies. I agree. You're making the point that any actor who's in the Expendables has never made a good movie. And that is incorrect.
Ooh.